Hello!
Hey!
It's day 3, it's qualifying day at the IFMAR 10th two-wheel drive Buggy Worlds, and our coverage today is brought to you by Hobbywing. This is the Daily Show, this is RCTV. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Buy any of the products that you see on the screen, go to tonysport.de. Click the link in the description.
Now let's check out the JConcepts Hot Laps of the day.
Now, here's a running theme for you throughout today's coverage. We always see team managers watching the cars going around from various bits of the track. This is what you see through the eyes of a team manager, Tristram Neal from Schumacher.
Kind of settling with the cars, we're trying a few things. Like Ben was quick on the last one, so we're going more towards where Ben's setup is. Michael's like doing smaller changes and that, and Daniel's trying a couple of small things. Whereas Brock's gone like more towards where Ben is. So it's like a good bit of teamwork going on between them all at the moment.
So what are they changing on the cars? We don't know. They won't tell us.
They won't tell us. Lips seem to be sealed. Now, our coverage of the IFMAR World in Australia is fully impartial. However, only t-shirt I could find today.
Now, we spoke to an American, Jared Tebo, about his thoughts before qualifying began. Here's what he's got to say.
I can't help but just think like the cars kind of look really weird to me. When I saw the first practice yesterday, I was like, oh man, they look so loose and so high and bouncy and just kind of weird. And I was like, I wonder like if someone took like a two-wheel from 2017 or even maybe, like the cars we raced in 2019, my last two-wheel worlds, like if they would be better than what they're currently driving.
Really?
But practice has been pretty cool. I just finished, watching the last controlled rounds, and man, I'm a Kaerup fan. That dude seems pretty rad, him and his dad, and I was so happy to see him win that Buggy Worlds. Dude, he's rolling. He looks good, and he's driving the track different, I thought, than everyone else. So, yeah, it's going to be cool.
He's got the confidence, Kaerup has. But what do you think? Do you think there's anything in particular holding back some of the other guys, Spencer Rifkin, some of the others that we thought that what we expect to be, right on the top? Do you think there's something holding them back?
Yeah, it's hard to tell watching. The runs are pretty short. And so, depending on who the camera's really following. But the biggest thing that I see is just the cars look really different one to the next. It's not like there's driving areas. Like one car looks really planted, looks really hooked up. They're driving the track fluid, and then like they'll pan off and you'll see someone else and they look like they're on a completely different track and it looks super loose. So that's, I don't know. They haven't showed Rifkin a ton. And honestly, I get him and Donnelly's car kind of mixed up. I really don't even know like which one's which on the video. Yeah. But I don't know. Some cars just look really loose and look pretty uncomfortable. And then other cars look really planted. Like Davey Batta's car, I feel like looks awesome. Looks really planted, not super bouncy. Kaerup's car looks really good, maybe a little bit on the bouncy side in some spots, but Kaerup's driving really different. I noticed in the second round of seeding, he is riding like all of the curbs. And I don't know if like there's more traction on the curbs or like why he's hitting so many of the curbs. But if you watch him, he's literally on every single curb, which I found that like pretty interesting. And the U.S. drivers, we're not used to really, we have big pipes everywhere. So if you like try to drive really tight, you get stuck all the time. And so that's something very different with the Europeans, where they can like touch the curbs and run on the pipe a little bit more often with all these small pipes. So that was kind of interesting. Yeah. But yeah, surprised that Rivkin's not really up there. Really surprised with Finn. You know, I think he's seated like 50 something, maybe
really?
in the mid 40s. And that's going to really put him in a difficult position for qualifying, because I believe you stay in these qualifiers the whole time.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. So
You're not mistaken, Jared. Now let's get right into qualifying with Nick. Hi, Nick.
Hello.
Hello. In round one, the Schumacher team was being very tight-lipped about what they were trying on track. Here's Cole Tollard from Group 13.
I'm not sure if I should really say much about that, but
Cole's teammate, Daniel Kopovic, was also not saying very much about their car setup changes.
yeah, we did some small changes actually, not too big one, but
We'll see what kind of info we can get about that. But taking the first round TQ and setting the tone for qualifying was Marcus Kaerup, just ahead of Davey Bada from Southern California.
With Davey setting off first and getting a slow start, Marcus caught up with him, but Davey didn't move over.
Eventually, he did build up speed and pull away, even setting the fastest lap. But Marcus still set the fastest time of the round.
I don't know if I've seen a bigger father and son hug than that. Marcus Kaerup, your dad Jonas, jumping in with the big back slap. That's got to feel like a pretty fabulous way to start this week.
Yeah, I mean, I knew towards the end that if I would have finished second, he would have said, "You're not my son anymore," and he would have walked off. No, it's good to see him happy. That's means a lot to me, and it was a great run. Yeah.
The rest of the top 15 looked like this, with Kopovic from the B group, the top Schumacher, just ahead of Orlowski.
Round two was the Marcus and Davey show once again, with Davey again slower to get up to speed.
Maybe he's settling himself down, just discovering the track before really putting the power down.
In the end, though, it was the Dane taking Q2 to put one hand on the TQ trophy.
With a lap to go, it was 1/100th of a second, something like that. So tight between the two of you. I want to talk to you both. But Marcus, first of all, 2 from 2. That's a pretty sweet way to start this week.
I mean, yeah, it couldn't have gone any better. Bada is, making my job hard, but I managed to squeeze it in on the last lap, so yeah.
I think just because he's your teammate, it's not his job to make your life easy. I mean, how close, you had a sense of how close it was. It ebbed and flowed. It was never more than a few tenths of a second all the way through, right?
Well, I could hear Scotty screaming, and it was 0.02 seconds. So then I hit on the off-camber section, I hit it perfect. So I thought, all right, this is the lap, and then I was able to get it home.
Nicely done. Davey, quick chat with you as well. So close all the way through. Beautiful drive. How's the car working?
Car's working good. I just got to clean up my starts a little bit. I make bobbles in the first couple laps, both runs now. So, really close. I heard Scotty screaming. That definitely shaked up the nerves. So it was fun.
With Schumacher the only other manufacturer in the top 10.
Apart from the Mugen, driven by Burek Kilic.
Top Brit is multiple UK champion Tommy Hall in 11th again. Looked like a hard start for him.
The main story of round three was Marcus Kaerup once again dominating proceedings and taking the third round TQ to start on pole position.
Bang, bang, bang. 1-1-1. Top qualifier for two-wheel drive modified here at the 2025 Worlds. Tell me what's going on inside right now.
I mean, after the last one, we made some changes, and it worked out completely. I mean, the car was super easy to drive. Now it could actually steer as well. Me, my dad, and Andrew have been working really hard to get to this point. So halfway done. Now we just gotta bring it home.
Halfway done. Tell me a little bit about what you do for the next two qualifiers. You can really concentrate on making a race car now, right?
I think I'm just gonna, try to do the 5 minutes as fast as I can. Just keep doing what I've been doing and getting more confidence for the finals.
I'm going to bring your dad in here, Jonas. I saw you a very proud dad. Tell me a little bit about how you're feeling right now. Your son's top qualifier at the Worlds.
I'm out of words, man. It's unbelievable. It's I'm so proud of him. It's been a 17-year journey. Yeah.
The other big story was Marcus's associated teammate, Spencer Rivkin, narrowly missing out on a possible TQ run.
That was really, really poor racing craft from my end. I didn't hear the beep with the announcers talking so loud. It was just my fault. That was so stupid.
But even with that dreadful mistake, he still finished second in round and was the only other driver to make 12 laps other than Marcus.
The only Schumacher drivers in the top 10 was Champlin in third and Kopovic in fourth.
Tommy Hall moved up this time to 5th and Orlowski down to 11th in the third round.
The last round of qualifying day had Marcus trying out his race setup and unfortunately making a mistake early in the run.
Yeah, and the drivers were confirming that the track was getting slower during the day.
Yeah, I mean, the track is absolutely gnarly. The shadows they make it tough because you can't really see exactly the sections, so that also is difficult, but the grip is coming up a lot. There's a lot of traction, so you got to kind of adjust for that and make the adjustments necessary, as they say. So we're going to keep on grinding, baby.
So with only Marcus knowing where he'll be starting the finals, everyone else is giving it everything to line up second on the grid.
Daniel Kopovic taking the fastest time of the round, and our mate Aiden Horn second, both of them doing very well from the B group.
Here's the look at the overnight standings with 3 of 4 rounds counting.
Of course, you can see all of those results on liverc.com, but there's still one more round. A lot can still happen. Here's Matt talking to Lee about what could possibly shake out.
Thanks, guys. Lee Martin, welcome to the show. Now, obviously, Marcus has locked in TQ very convincingly, but we're going to take a quick look at the qualifying table and what the permutations are. Who is in with a chance of the big show? Who is in danger of missing out? What are you seeing, Lee?
Well, I have been studying this morning. Hi guys, everyone, by the way. I have been studying this morning. Obviously, let's work from the top down. So, as you said, number 1 right now, and who will be now until finals, is Marcus. 3 TQs, first 3 rounds, done and dusted. Had a terrible round 4, but had an early mistake. I did watch the run, and yeah, I think it was just one of those throwaway ones from that point. Kopovic, it's been impressive. Locked in, always top 4, so he looks pretty good to be second. He can only be really put out now by Davey Batter. You know, not been outside the US before, as far as I'm aware, and completely solid runs, 2, 2, 6, and a 5. Locked in, probably top 3 locked in, and maybe even second on the grid if he has a good last one. He had a crash in that last qualifier. He would have been second or third in round for sure, so that, you know, that would have been helpful for him, but it's what it is right now. He's top 3 and gives him a chance. Brock sitting in 4th, also locked in with his teammate Mikau. I'm sure Mikau, he wants to move up. He needs to be, I think, to give himself a really good shot, he'd want to be top 3. It is possible, just about, I think. So he needs under 9 points. He has a 4 and a 3. So, you know, it's possible. But really, he's going to need to TQ the last round. Spencer, same kind of scenario, really. He's going to want to put himself in that top 3. He's also locked in, though, but he needs a run to really get up there, to give himself a shot at the World Championship again. Outstanding performer of the week, probably Clement Boda for me. He's done very, very well. Well, up with Davey, really, of the outstanding ones. He's locked in. I'm pretty sure there's no one that can put him out. Kuki, solid again. He's got 22 points. I think he's going to be in with that. But this is where it starts to get a little bit nervous for these guys. The Kuki, Aiden, Davide, and Tommy Hall, they're all going to be fighting for that 10th place position, I feel. Tommy outside it right now. Tommy, to get in right now, would need a 7. That's assuming no one else improves. It's not out of the question for sure, because he's had a 5 in round. Although the guys above him can also improve their runs. Davide's holding 10 at the moment, so he just needs another 6 or a 7 to really solidify his position. Aiden, with that 2 in the last round, has given him best chance possible. He has a 12. He could quite easily strike off his 12 just for a 9 or an 8 and be guaranteed in. Kuki's looking not too bad. I don't think Kuki's going to get knocked out, so I think it's between Aiden, Davide, and Tommy needs a run to get in there.
Fantastic. Thank you, Lee. It wouldn't be right to have you here and not ask you, why do you think there's not more of your X-Ray teammates in the running at the top?
Yeah, I heard. I was chatting to Martin just a little bit earlier. I heard they're struggling to find a little bit of pace out the car. It's lacking some steering. Has good rear grip, but just lacks a bit of steering. And looking at that track layout, you really need corner speed to get good results. You know, you can't just rely on hustling, I don't think. With the long corners that it has, it's a bit like F1. If we had a lot of short corners, you can use the brake to really make the car rotate. So you can actually get away with having that bit of understeer. But when you're literally just relying on the front wheels to make it turn, then it becomes a lot more about setup. So yeah, they're just missing something.
You're brushing over the real issue, and I know why they're struggling. And it's because you're not there. And, if you were there, it would be 40 plus worlds in the bag, locked in.
In the bag, mate. I mean, who is the next 40 plus guy on here? I mean, no one, right?
You'd be that you've any competition with the 40 plus now, you have to take it. You have to take it.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be done. In a few years' time, we're going to have Mayfield and stuff popping in there, so it'll get a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, you can retire then. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'll be out. But on that note, right? It's a strange worlds. There's no Mayfield. There's no Cavalieri. There's no Martin. There's no Crag. There's, it feels it's really changed now. Change of the guard, let's say.
The young guns are coming. Lee, thank you for joining us. Let's get you back in if you can as we get into finals day tomorrow.
Sure, I'll be here. We'll be discussing who was the winner. I think TQ doesn't necessarily mean they've got the win here. The track is it's pretty loose, and that jump section in front, I think a few people are going to make mistakes there. And there's a lot of curb running. People are riding the curbs a lot to get the fast laps, but we all know that means cars can roll over quite easily. So it's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing it and discussing it with you.
Thanks, Lee. Now, don't forget about this great contest from Team Savox. To celebrate this amazing Worlds coverage, Team Savox wants to send you a brand new top-spec Team Savox SB3262 SG servo and official Team Savox pit mat. This is the same servo that top Team Savox drivers like Spencer Rivkin use for their own two-wheel drive buggies. Anyone around the world can enter. Just follow the Team Savox Instagram account, then comment on the contest post and tag an RC friend. We will pick a pair of winners and Team Savox will contact you on Instagram. That's it. It's super easy.
Super easy. What a fantastic giveaway.
Fair dinkum.
Be sure to check out Team Savox on Instagram. Now, our good friend Mr. Scotty Ernst is trackside. Let's get his thoughts on today's racing.
Hey everybody, Scotty Ernst here, and it is a wrap on day number 2 here at the IFMAR World Championships. It was an absolutely thrilling day. Marcus Kaerup earning, well-earned, 3 back-to-back-to-back TQs to earn a pole position. Heartbreak there for Spencer Rivkin. He had a good run, just a little bit of problems there on his final lap, but it is going to make for a great A final. We have one more qualifier to go. We got 2 guys kind of on notice right here. Tommy Hall and Tom Renderneck. Those guys are on the cusp of making the yay main. They're on the outside looking in. And that final qualifier, Termeyer, if they have a good one, they're going to be able to put it in the show with counting 3 of 5. So it's going to be very exciting tomorrow. A new day. It's a fresh day. Wet track. Those guys will be up pretty early in the program in their qualifier. So it's going to be a different track that they really haven't been on. So we're going to see who's on top of the game tomorrow, who's going to lock it in to give us our top 10 into the World Championship. It's been another stellar day from dusk till dawn. It has happened here in Australia. We got one more day to find out who our two-wheel drive world champion is going to be.
That's amazing, Scotty. Thank you very much. Now, once again, we've got Oisin from redrc.net, and he's out there in the pits digging up all those little information nuggets that you can check out on his site.
So the second day of action here at the IFMAR World Championships in Australia, and it was interesting from talking to the drivers to see the different routes they've taken with setup. In particular, Spencer Rivkin. Spencer had been here twice before and had come with a setup that he expected to work. And as he said, his ego got the better of him and he stuck with it while the rest of the team went a different direction. But once he adapted, and he said in particular that he followed Davey Bada's setup, it was a transformation. And as we saw that in the penultimate qualifier today, where he got a P2 for the round, having really struggled. And he's in the second fastest heat. And then if you look at Brock Chaplin, the Schumacher driver, he came here with a team setup that because it was his first time here, and he ended up over the day going back to what he would use back home. and we saw 2 fantastic top 3 runs from him. So it's very interesting to see how people are, adapting with the setup. And then if you talk to Michael Orlowski, he had a kind of an up and down day, and he said basically the problem was he wasn't on it with getting the setup right for the particular time of day on the track conditions. And he said that's something he needs to work on better for tomorrow. So yeah, it was very interesting to see how everyone's having a different take on the setups. And one thing that really stands out is the teamwork here. Really, really strong teamwork. And I have to say Associated really stand out with the way they're doing their teamwork. So yeah, it's been an interesting day, and we're looking forward to the finals tomorrow.
Jared, what an amazing day it's been. 4 rounds of qualifying, bit of a roller coaster. Marcus hasn't looked that threatened, would you say?
Yeah, man, it's been, I don't know, like, I would agree, roller coaster, but then also kind of the same people fighting too. It's been mixed up. I would, outside maybe 3 people, but man, the 4 rounds were awesome. It's a little after 2 a.m. and I'm still up, so I couldn't go to bed.
We talked about teams yesterday, and Marcus actually said in one of his interviews that Davy Batter isn't making it easy for him. Teammates, but he's not there to help him. He's there to get his own times in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe they're helping each other, pushing each other. I would say those 2 have been, the 2 most consistent. Their cars look really good. Bata has been really impressive to me. His car has looked really good, and especially that first round when he's kind of started out slow in every qualifier. His first lap isn't quite as intense as some of the other guys. And man, that first round, Marcus started behind him, got pretty close, and it was like, if Davey would have slowed up just a tad, he would have had to let him go. And that could have changed. Honestly, it could have changed his whole World Championship event. But he had the confidence. He put down the fast lap. He pulled away a little bit enough and got that second. I think that saved his whole race event. So that was really cool to witness.
Wow.
Talk about Spencer Rifkin, though. Your heart goes out to Spencer. I mean, oh man.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I was watching the broadcast and everything, and they were saying that there's no announcing on the driver's stand, and I could see how maybe something like that could mess you up, but I don't know, man. You should be zoned in enough to not have that happen. But dude, you see that happen in all types of motorsports. People pulling off on a white flag or something,
The Schumacher guys seem to have found something, maybe not enough, but also they're very tight-lipped about what it is they've been doing overnight.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was kind of writing down. I got a little note here, writing, all the results. And dude, Daniel Kovabec, he is to me, he's been kind of that third guy that's been the most consistent, I mean, he went 3-4-4-1. That's pretty darn legit. And I think his car looks really good too. He's driving it well. Orlowski's car looks good, but he's been hit or miss. Kind of same with Champlin.
Yeah, thank you so much for your insight. Marcus is definitely confident. Famously, he only glued up 2 sets of tyres in Barcelos because he knew he'd win it in 2. Let's ask Marcus, how many sets of tyres are you gluing up for tomorrow?
Marcus, how many tyres are you going to glue up for tomorrow's A-mains?
I've prepped all my tyres, and they're pretty much ran in. So, yeah, we have a pretty good tyre strategy for tomorrow. So, I think we're going to be good.
So, Marcus, you've had a pretty perfect day. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. The car's been working really well throughout the whole weekend so far. Pretty confident for tomorrow. My car is really good. We're gonna try some new stuff in the practice run tomorrow in Q5, and we're gonna see how that works. So yeah.
Anyone you want to say a huge thanks to?
Want to say a huge thanks to my dad. It's been working for 17 years to get to this point, and I want to say thanks to Drescher at home after the interview we had, or the talk we had on the Team Associated page. We spent an hour afterwards discussing the game plan here, and it has been working really well. Then I want to say thanks to Andrew. He's been helping a lot with setups and making decisions. And I think we make up a good team. And I want to say thanks to all my sponsors. You can see it on my shirt. Not gonna go too far into that. And thanks to RCTV for making good coverage and the news and stuff.
So there we have it, Marcus sitting very happily on TQ, not just overnight, but for the whole event, locked in. JQ, what are your key takeaways from qualifying?
Kaerup has been really impressive, even though I believe Rivkin gifted him one TQ by pulling off early. I think he had about a second on Kaerup in that one. So yes, he's been impressive, but actually, you know who's impressed me the most? Davy Bata.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, and did you know much about him before this event? Did you know much about him?
I actually remember him from my days in America. Over the winter, I used to race 10th scale off-road at OCRC, and I've seen him there. I think I remember him from some Reedy races. He was really fast. His dad actually runs a track, Coyote Hobbies, I think it's called. It's in Victorville, about 2 hours north of LA. So his dad owns a track. He has a lot of track time. It's high grip. The thing that impresses me about him is if you look at him, he looks kind of like a cuddly teddy bear. No, nothing, dangerous. But on the track, this guy, I mean, he's an animal on the track. If you watch him drive, he's all over the place. He's, 2 wheels on the pipe, sideways drifting, but then the lap time's like one of the fastest. So it's just, if he can sort of tone down the driving a bit, match his driving a bit more to how he looks on the driver's stand, he'll be even faster. So I'm looking forward to the mains.
As we go into tomorrow for the finals, how important is focus for the drivers? We saw what happened with Rivkin. Turns out he didn't lose a huge amount, but it was clearly very frustrating. This is a big stage to be on. Some drivers seem to be able to hear the commentators. Some drivers can hear nothing, and they're just getting into their own head. So how important is focus?
I actually have some things to say about this very topic. First of all, I think that as a driver, you need to be able to focus, concentrate on your driving, no matter what. So this opinion is less about the driver and more about the sort of overall experience at the race, watching your friends race, watching online. It's really important to have some announcing, because just watching cars going around the track is kind of boring. And I think for a driver, it's also better to have the announcing. At least for me, when it's just silence, that makes me nervous also. If there's stuff going on, if there's an announcer calling the race, I know there's a minute left, I know who's leading, I hear that, but it sort of calms me in a sense. I'm still focused, and as I said, a driver should focus no matter what, but my opinion is that announcing helps both the drivers, but also the spectators. So I don't really understand why apparently it's just quiet at the track.
So JQ, to wrap things up, what do you think is going to be the final results?
Final results. Now, I'm going to have to say that it's really hard to bet against Kaerup, but I will. And that's because he doesn't know what kind of animal he has behind him. Davy Bata, he's going to make it, okay? So whatever the qualifying order, he might start second, third, fourth, it doesn't matter. He will find him at the front and he's going to become world champion. That's my prediction.
There we go.
Interesting.
There we go. Right, the on your screen now is the A final times. So you need to watch them live. Just make the effort, stay up, watch them on RC Race Media, and then join us tomorrow right here as we pick our way through the finals and see who is the new IFMAR two-wheel drive off-road world champion.